everyone, this is Zach with Gamer and Gameless. This is episode 22, and I am joined by...
Aaron. What's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an exhilarating intro. That third voice you don't hear
is me, Bunyan. What up?
What's up, guys? As you guys could probably tell, we haven't been too up to date with our podcast. We've all had the flu pretty bad, and Elvin still actually has it, so he's actually not going to be here with us today. He's in our hearts and minds, though, right, gentlemen?
No.
He's in the other room.
He is, but that's one of the joys of the flu, is you get to sleep all day.
Oh, man.
He's so lucky.
Shoot, I wish I can... No, I don't want the flu. I don't want swine flu. I don't want Ebola. I don't want any things grossly like that to affect my day, so I'm sorry about that.
Okay. That was
something I don't want in my life.
A heartfelt comment by Aaron.
Yeah, you know.
Anyways.
Bunyan, what about you?
What about you, Bunyan? I don't know what the question was.
I don't know. I don't want to be sick. The only fever I like is NFL fever, I guess, or Star Wars fever is my favorite fever to have.
I get it.
I always get Star Wars fever.
Yeah. Anyways, remember you can check us out at facebook.com/gamergameless, our website gamergameless.com, or our shiny new Twitter, still shiny, still new, at gamergameless. So we're gonna start off the show with how we normally started off with talking about what we've been playing. Bunyan. What have you been playing?
I thought it sounded like we're ending the show.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was like, it's over?
That's how exhilarating of a start it was.
Yeah, wow. It's great. I've been playing Helldivers.
Oh, yeah.
For PS4.
Now, Helldivers, what is that about, sir? Is it like Starship Troopers on acid?
No, it is a game where you go into... I was going to say a hell joke, but go ahead, Bunyan.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, kind of. It's a top-down shooter, but it's a little bit different because it's a lot like Starship Troopers. It's pretty much if they made a Starship Troopers spin-off. But I think the thing that's so appealing about it is it's weird. This doesn't sound appealing describing it, but you're kind of helpless. Like, you're not exactly like some super overpowered super soldier. You could get killed by anything. Like, you could call in airdrops and supports, and if you're not careful, you see like a shadow, and it can come down and crush you. And
it's real life.
Yeah, you're going to die a lot. And I don't know why it's fun. I think it's because you're not a super soldier. Like, you have to run all the time, and you don't have that much ammo because you could call in more ammo, but it's a pain in the ass. It really is the pain in the ass to call more ammo, and you have to stop and you have to throw down this little airstrike, the little smoke grenade thing, and then it comes down, they land in it. So you're running a lot. Like, you're always overwhelmed, and you're just like, oh, let's just go, and you're just running.
Yeah, it's like my understanding, it's like an oncoming horde in different directions. Not where you stay, but you can go, and there's more alien bugs coming at you, and there's friendly fire as well. So you really have to be on your game because it's definitely a journey.
Well, the thing, and I think that's the thing I like so much about Helldivers is with this particular genre, what tends to be the case is they'll give you these over the top weapons and insane hordes of enemies. Like I'm thinking of Crimson Land, another PlayStation. Oh, it's for PC as well too. But pretty much all of these dual stick shooters throw millions and millions of enemies at you, and you just get these over-the-top weapons and you use them. Whereas Helldivers is a lot more contained. It's pretty much a lot more of just like small bursts of enemies. You don't have these like incredibly powerful weapons or anything like that. You have very limited ammo. Yeah, and and it's weird because I've mentioned this before on this podcast, is that I'm not an incredibly patient gamer by any means. And with that, the idea of a game being challenging in odd ways isn't too appealing to me. But truthfully, the friendly fire and how hard Helldivers is like one of the most compelling components of it.
Yeah, it'll test you
because it's like, for instance, the very first time I played, right, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna join someone else's game and see what they're doing. And I joined them mid game. They're just roaming around the planet. And I landed in like a pod and just instantly crushed one of them.
That's funny. That's funny.
And I'm just like what a great way to start out this game. And there's a lot of defend this area for X amount of time sequences. And with that, is so many times this will happen where I'll be like, hi, I got an idea, and I'll set up 3 turrets, and I'm like, all right, we're good. And the turrets just mow down enemies. But if you're caught in it, they'll kill you too.
Yeah.
So that happens pretty frequently, and I love it.
Yeah, and even one of the things I actually really like this is even the smallest enemies, like the grunt versions of whatever. There's like I forgot. There's like 3 or 4 different races of enemies, but even you have to worry about everyone. Even like the small ones, you're not going to be like, oh, it's just one. You're gonna be like, oh, I gotta kill him or I have to run.
Yeah,
and you don't have that much ammo, so. Normally, like I said earlier, you don't have much ammo, so normally you're always going to pull out your pistol, which isn't very strong either, and you just have to run lots of times. Like I need to get out here and get to safety, which is it's weird that's appealing, but
no, that's kind of like survival, it's what you got to do. I mean, and it's such a it's such a team experience that if you're not on the same wavelength, you're just gonna die. In fact, in this game you die a lot. I mean, there's so many ways to die, but it's one reason why I like Rogue Legacy, because dying was actually fun. It was like most games you play and you die, like, man, I gotta start over, go back to my last checkpoint, do this whatever again. But when it comes to Helldivers, it seems like okay, I want to get back out there and just kill some more bugs and see my progress. Now, anybody out there that's been playing on the PS4. If your controller dies, you're gonna lose all your progress.
Oh,
and
yes.
That sucks.
So, I mean, just for some context, that's not like a feature of the game. Yeah. That'd be some pretty intense stuff. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully they patched it by now. I haven't checked it out, but yeah, that was one of the huge bugs, which is a pretty insane, and especially
it's huge bugs, right?
Thing, yeah, I get it. You're so clever.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about it and the thing is like. The PlayStation 4 controller doesn't have like a large battery life.
6 hours. I think it's 6 hours.
If even that, I feel like just like every few hours I'm charging that thing, and the fact that that's the case, you know what I mean? I'm like I said, I'm hoping they patched it by now or by the time this podcast comes out. But that is a huge thing.
Yeah, for our listeners who don't understand what we're talking about, is that basically right now in Helldivers, there's a bug that if you're playing for PS4, I'm not sure about the other systems.
Well, no, it's only on PS4 it's PS3, Vita, and
yeah,
PS4.
It's on a PlayStation.
I don't know if it's on PC right now.
But we're talking about the bug. I'm not sure which one. But basically, on PlayStation 4, the bug is that if you're playing the game. And if your controller dies while you're playing the game, it wipes your data right now. So that's a terrible bug.
Can you imagine, like, as hard as that game is to survive, how far you get, and it just dies on you?
Yeah,
that would frustrate the heck out of me, man. I mean, this game is right now it's $19, fairly cheap, but it's good, bang for your buck there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
What's great is that I can play on the Vita, and you can have a PS4 or PS3. We can play together.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
It's cross play, and there's another cross that I'm forgetting.
No, wait, so PlayStation 3 users can play PS4 users?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know
server,
that.
And Vita.
Wow, that is insane.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's an awesome game.
Why are we doing this podcast? We can just go play that.
Seriously, we should be playing that right now.
All right, this podcast is over, guys.
The only other thing I've been playing besides Helldivers is we're gonna get into it a little bit later, but they have a Metal Gear Solid 5 release date finally. So to build off of my excitement for that, I started playing Ground Zeroes again, which is still like Ground Zeroes got a lot of flack, and rightfully so. The concept of releasing a $30 game that can technically be beaten in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But there's so much to that game. Like the love that people have for Dark Souls isn't that like the common misconception is that everyone thinks that everyone loves Dark Souls because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's the fact that Blood Souls. Ooh, that's Bloodborne and Dark Souls put together. That's actually a good title. You guys can have that one.
Nice.
But with Dark Souls is they put you in this world and they're just like, hey, do whatever you want. Like it truly is open world. Not saying you'll be strong enough to do a lot of stuff, but there's very little direction. And that's kind of how it is with Ground Zeroes. And that's what makes me so excited for Metal Gear 5 is that you have like a goal in mind, but they give you like very little prompts to figure it out. And there's so many different ways you can do it. And there's just messing around in the base for hours and hours and hours and hours. And that game is like awesome. So I am incredibly stoked for I said stoked.
Yeah, I've never heard you say that word. It doesn't roll off the tongue well for you.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't work for everyone.
I am incredibly excited.
Yeah,
about
and I wanted to bring up what you were saying, just a little bit out of it. You know, how long should a game be? You know, what's a right amount that you feel would be, you know, to play and is worth your money, actually, you know, because you look at a game like Dragon Age, the game can go forever. You talk about Ground Zeroes, you know, we talked about it before. It's like a few hour game to play, and you know, we were talking even outside the podcast about 1886, how it was supposedly short, but you know, you either enjoyed it or you didn't. You know, and so what would you think would be like a really good, you know, a time for a game that if you're gonna pay $60, what would be just a really good deal for you?
So when you throw in the caveat of $60, it really changes things up, because $60 is a lot of money. A lot of people, and like
to justify in your purchase, you know what I'm saying?
Like a lot of people gave a lot of grief to Order 1886, and that was unfortunately one of the times where we were all just coughing and dying and we were too sick to come into podcast. But I got it and I beat it, and that game, I really enjoyed that game.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, oh, it's so short. And to me, the issue wasn't even that it was short. Like, and it wasn't like, it took me like 8 hours to beat it, and that's a good time. It took me like DMC, Devil May Cry, not like the first Devil May Cry, but the DMC, the one with like the punk, punk Dante. I think I beat that in like 6 hours. I beat that in one sitting, and I enjoyed that very much. So, like the problem with the Order wasn't the length.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the Order was that when you beat it, not even the pacing. Like I thought it was a really good game. Like I could have had a better ending, and there was a few problems with it, but it wasn't the length of the game. It was the fact that once you beat it, there's nothing else to do. Beat the game on easy, normal, and hard, and collect.
So
all
there's no replay value.
There's zero,
and that's the
thing. And that's the thing is like with Call of Duty. Like, even like, I know everyone hates comparing things to Call of Duty. Is with Call of Duty, the campaign is probably like I haven't.
I think it's like 4.5 hours.
Yeah, I beat the campaign. If we're talking about Advanced Warfare,
no, just Call of Duty, just the Call of Duties in general.
Like 4.5.
They never have really long campaigns.
Yeah, but you really buy it for the campaign.
Well, I mean, some people do, but what I'm trying to say is the fact that there's still more to do.
Yeah.
So it's a better value.
It's a better purchase, and that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, it's like, okay.
Well, I don't want to say it's a better purchase, because if someone just wants a hardcore storyline base, like, I think it's a better value. Like, there's objectively more in that game than there is in the Order 1886. There's objectively more content.
Well, exactly. Whatever game gets you to come back and keep playing it, we call that replay value. To me, that justifies my purchase. Now, when it comes to a short game, there's so many games out there. So sometimes I don't mind if the game is short, because I want to get onto another game, and so into another game. You know, there's some times where I don't need to play a game that's 60, 40 hours. I mean, I think it's amazing that it's in there. I mean, that's, you know, the quality. That's awesome. But sometimes I just want to beat this game, get on to the next. Now, sometimes if the game is going to be short, but it has replay value with multiplayer and go online, to me that is a personally a purchase that I would always want to make. So that's kind of how I feel about it.
See, I mean, I think with this question, there's no one size fits all answer, because, like, I mean, I've been an advocate for this game on this podcast like several times. Is the game I got some of the most replay value out of was Rogue Legacy, and it was like, I think when I got it, it was like $14.99 probably. I don't remember. It was some low amount, but I love that game. I played that game substantially, you know?
Yeah.
And I played that game more than I played Last of Us. I played that game more than I played Advanced Warfare, you know?
Yeah.
And like there and you know, it doesn't have to have this online component, you know what I mean? Because and like with Titanfall, I played Titanfall a lot. But I also played Dragon Age Inquisition a lot, and I played Shadows of Mordor a lot. Shadow. There's only one shadow. There's no other shadows in Mordor.
Shadow.
But yeah, so I mean, I think length of games are a tricky question. Go ahead, Brad.
So for me, here I have a rule of thumb. Is okay. So if it's an action game or a shooter or adventure game, if it's not an RPG game, I feel like I'm getting my money's worth about 20 hours. If I bought the game at full price at $60, I feel like around 20 hours is when I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. If it's less than that, I feel like it needs a multiplayer. Something for me, at least, for my taste. If it's an RPG, especially if it's a American RPG, I feel like I need 30 hours plus. I mean, it depends on the game, and how open-minded it is. But open-ended it is. But a specific game is, I loved Mass Effect so much. Mm-hmm. But the problem with Mass Effect for me is that it pretends like it's going to be a really massive game. Mm-hmm. No pun intended. Yeah. But
Mass Effect.
It's supposed to be a really huge game. I remember a lot of my friends when we first played it. You're like, wow. A lot of them would stop playing because I can't keep playing this. This game's going to be huge. Yeah. And that's what I thought at first, right? And when I first started a game, I was like, wow, there's so much to do. And then 22 hours later, I beat him. Like, wow, that kind of... And I did pretty much everything. There was a few side quests I didn't do, but so I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping 30 hours plus. That's all I was thinking. It was 30 hours plus, but that's a whole almost 10 hours shorter than I thought. So for me specifically, if it's an RPG, especially if I'm American, if it's Japanese, I expect more, almost 40. But if it's an RPG, 30 hours plus. If it's not one of those,
I agree. I do agree with
action adventure. 20 is a sweet spot.
That to me, that's worth my money.
It's funny because I grew up playing a lot of games, but the two games, or the two series, if you will, the three that I put the most time in were World of Warcraft, Halo, and Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. But it's funny when I think about it, and because the modern culture of gamer is so used to those type of games that. Honestly, I think back, and The Order, I really, really enjoyed The Order. And although it was only 8 hours, I don't want to say I feel like I got my money's worth, but I feel like I would have paid $50 guilt-free for that game. Maybe not 60. I think, 60 is a little steep.
Yeah.
But, I think we're kind of cheated out of these crazy, hardcore, cinematic and just kind of awing experiences. As awesome as Advanced Warfare is, I was scarcely awed by that game. Mm-hmm. By Shadow of Mordor, I wasn't really awed by. I loved it, but to be this is to be crazily immersed in a game, you don't get that anymore. And I think as obnoxious as it sounds, I feel like you can't really put a price tag on that feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I don't want to get on a VR rant because GDC was last week, and they've showed it 1,000 VR sets. But I think that's one of the things that makes VR so interesting. Yeah, is that this new level of immersion,
virtual reality. If anybody's that wondering.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, a game like Titanfall, online only, and to me, it wasn't worth $60. When I first bought it, when it first came out, I thought, okay, $40 maybe, because it's only an online multiplayer, and that's all it really is. There wasn't much to the game, Now tons of DLC came out later in months that added to it. I wish all that was included right when it came.
Yeah.
But, hey, speaking of Titanfall, sheesh, we'll get into that later. But yeah, some games I just feel that, you're not really worth the money if you're only getting a certain aspect of the game. And as far as Zach was saying, well, there wasn't much after the Order.
What's the irony in that is, I think, do you know how many hours you put into Titanfall? Because I believe that you probably put over 30.
Well, when I first got my Xbox One, there really wasn't much to play.
Yeah, but to say that Titanfall wasn't worth it, and you put probably 30 hours in it.
Well, look, here's my thing: is that when I buy a game, is that I want there to be a story and multiplayer. I want it to be a complete game. If I'm gonna pay $60, I want it to be a complete game. To me, Titanfall was not a complete game, but at the time, I love first-person shooters. I thought just an experience of seeing a Titan fall down and getting into it was a new concept to me.
Super
yeah,
awesome.
that was awesome.
It's still cool.
That's why I kept playing it. And then when you had your buddies playing it, okay, now it's fun. You get the replay value in it, but just alone, not worth it at that time. But when I first got my Xbox One, that's really the only game. That's really was still the truth. That was the game I was really looking forward to since when E3 announced it the year prior. So yeah, but well, I don't know if you guys have anything more to say, but I could go into the games that I've been playing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Man, shoot, to me, nothing really enticed me in January and February, so I really attacked my backlog like it was nothing. Like I just went ahead and attacked it, man. Rayman Legends, played that. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, was playing that.
PS4 or Xbox?
I had it on PS4.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Oh man, what a beautiful game. I'm trying to get my friends to play it. They don't really enjoy it too much because it feels like Uncharted. They don't really feel the Uncharted series.
You have smart friends.
Uncharted's cool.
Uncharted is I said this 1,000 times. Uncharted is the Jay-Z and Kanye West of video games.
It's part 2 was pretty awesome. I didn't.
2 is highly regarded.
It's really awesome, and then 3 has a really cool co-op.
And then they showed that 15-minute demo at PSX of Uncharted 4, and I was just trying not to fall asleep.
It's a really cool game. It's not the greatest game, but it's still really cool.
I'm referring. I have this buddy named Vincent. He always hits me up because he started gaming recently, and hopefully I inspired him. Nah, probably not. But yeah, he hits me up about video game questions all the time and what game he should get for PS4. And the first thing I said was, make sure you get Last of Us if you've never played it.
I think Last of Us is like infinitely better than Uncharted.
Yeah, no, Last of Us is, to me, will always be a must-own, must-have, must-play. That's just. In fact, right now it's being from what I'm reading around is that it might be the last generation game of the.
Game of
the generation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
and arguably that's true. I loved it, and the multiplayer is something that is something that's so underrated,
really underrated.
And for the people that play it, they light up when you talk to them about it because it's all about stealth, and it's all about sneaking up on your opponent and having team play.
Yeah, it's
exhilarating because somebody can kill you and you just don't expect them to be right next to you. And bam, you're all of a sudden you're in a kill death animation and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go further into the game, but anyway, I recommended that. And so the other game I'm recommending right now is, like I said, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. I'm really loving the game. I only paid $14 for it. So when you pay
that's
a low price, going to what we were mentioning before, so when you bang for your buck. I mean, and then the game is beautiful as that. 60 frames per second. I love the story. I love the action. There's one part in this game I died 25 or 30 straight times, but I kept going and playing again until I got it right. And that's usually the part that I think when she jumps out of the airplane, and then you gotta dodge left, you gotta dodge right, blah blah blah. You finally survive a plane crash and you're on the ground. Then you gotta kill some guys. But right after you kill these guys, there's this part where after a cutscene, and it just takes like 40 deaths, and I was getting my butt kicked. Anyway, so I think the game's amazing. I'm looking forward to beat that.
It's funny, I don't want to go on a rant about this again, but like as far as Tomb Raider, like just no one agrees with me. But like the thing is, when I look at Tomb Raider, Last of Us, and Uncharted, is I care about the characters in Tomb Raider and Last of Us. Like Lara Croft and Joel and Ellie are much more endearing characters than Nathan generic Drake. Like.
Yeah, Ellie even has her own story, The Left Behind.
Yeah,
I mean that's added into the PS4 edition.
Drake is typical, but he's okay for a typical. I mean, he's your typical cocky, witty guy, but at least he is pretty witty. Like the writing is really good on what he says. But yeah, he's very typical. I think they do good for such a typical character. They do good. They have good writing on it. That's all.
It's Naughty Dog. You're gonna have great writing regardless.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. All right, so doing that, Rayman Legends, beat Batman Arkham Asylum, was getting into even Hitman Blood Money, was doing that. It's playing some Castlevania SOTN, doing that.
That's Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night, man. That's how they regarded doing that. It's playing some Borderlands 2. I mean, I really attacked it from January to February. That's all I was doing. I was having a great time. Now, catching up on Metal Gear Solid 4, just like what Zach was saying with the Metal Gear Solid 5 announcement. Man, you better get on the series and then catch up while you can, because it's a phenomenal series. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 4. When I told Bunyan, he was just jumped out of his seat, man. Jumped out of his seat when it couldn't help talking about me. Talking about it.
I mean, like that's such a great series.
How far did you get? Like, did you finish the first?
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Not that this. I mean, this game came out like 30 years ago.
What act did you? Are you still in the first act?
I'm at the part where he meets up with is it Firehound?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone who hasn't played it, which the few of you haven't played, I mean, I'm sure a lot more will play it now that Metal Gear 5 is coming out. But every act, there's a cutscene at the end. I mean, there's tons of cutscene. There's a cutscene at each act, and they're so dramatic that it's like they almost can be an ending themselves. Yeah. Like they're like as dramatic as any season finale you could imagine. Like it's like everything changes. It's really insane. Like everyone, the cutscene's just so crazy. You're just like, what?
Yeah, and you're on your own mission while there's a war going on.
Yeah,
and if they see you, they're gonna try to kill you too because they think you're the enemy, and you're really not. But lastly, guess what, Zach, dude?
What's that?
I've been playing a heck of a lot of Destiny because I finally understand it. I finally understand what to do, man.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Tell you the truth, me and my buddies, we are just loving it right now. We are leveling up, and right now I'm a hunter, level 29, and I'm doing weekly strikes, meeting up with Zur in the weekends and trying to get exotic weapons.
Oh, that all sounds so disgusting. Like,
I'm telling you, man. If you had a chance to play with us, it's some good stuff. We're doing raids, and we're gonna start doing raids when my buddy gets to level 26. But weekly strikes, daily strikes, leveling up these stories into the hardest mode. I mean, we're trying to fight some, on Crota, doing it, man. We're just having a great time. And if you find a game, somewhat okay, but if you have your buddies playing with it, man, it's just a new experience. Yeah. And maybe that's why I'm loving Destiny. But now I know how to level up my character because it was a B. To even try to play the game and get your butt kicked. But hey, man, I'm loving it, and I'm gonna keep playing it. So, and whenever GTA 5 Heist starts working, I'm gonna get on that as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get in the news. Man, Destiny's terrible.
No, it's not, man. I'm telling you, I grew to love it, man.
Since the two things we talked about most during this chunk were Metal Gear and Titanfall, let's start with that. So Metal Gear Solid 5, the release date finally came out. There's a lot of speculation that it was going to come out this year, but I mean, I personally didn't think it was going to, honestly, because we see like a lot of clips, but they're very much like rehearsed like scenes from the games in like E3 and stuff like that. So I just thought they are just more like, oh, we prepped this this like quote unquote scene from the game that looks very like, I don't know, rehearsed. And it kind of felt like it was still a long way off because like it's supposed to be such a massive game, and like all of the Metal Gears are slightly open world in a sense. Like you have you can kind of like, it's not like Skyrim open world, but it's like it's an open area, and it's like it's by no means straightforward at all. Yeah. But this one is taking it like even further distance. So like I just wasn't expecting it to, but it actually leaked ahead of time. I think there was like an asset for an IGN video, like IGN Italy or something like that leaked an image of the reveal trailer that they had the exclusive scoop on that says September 1st, 2015, and that ended up being the correct date. So I am incredibly excited for this. Like I don't want to like talk in absolutes and sound like overly confident about this, but like that, like there's a lot of really good games coming out this year, even in the first half of the year. But I think that's gonna be like the game of the year because I mean it looks fantastic.
Hey, it could definitely be. I mean, I think there's gonna be a couple candidates for game of the year. Personally, I mean, from what we're hearing and seeing right now as previews, I think Arkham Knight will be up there. I think Star Wars Battlefront will be up there.
Yeah.
And Metal Gear Solid. I think those three. Hey, maybe even Bloodborne might be up there too. I think it's gonna be tough to pick a game of the year this year. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I cannot wait, and I'm glad that it's coming out in September, as opposed to because like the trend is to go away from September releases. Like I think in September 2014, the only real release was Destiny, which was disappointing.
Which was
a bad game.
Awesome.
Terrible game.
We got to get you on, man. Nope. I know you threw it away and you took a dump on it.
I traded.
But I will clean that disc. I have Brandon. I have my friend Brandon clean that disc, and he'll give it to you, and then he'll clean it up, and we'll play it.
What I got it digitally on my PlayStation 4, and I went to trade it in. I went to trade in my PlayStation 4. No, I went to trade in my PlayStation 4, and they were like, "All right, you're gonna get $250 for it." And I was like, "But Destiny's on it." They're like, "Oh, never mind, you're gonna $175." Get it? They deducted because it's so bad.
Oh my gosh!
Next
man.
bit of news. I think yesterday or the day before was the 1-year anniversary for Titanfall, which I didn't realize. So as a part of that, they're like, "Hey guys, as a thank you, all the DLC is free," which is cool. I mean, it's cool that they did that. But the problem with with Titanfall, the problem with this is that I don't know if anyone has been on Titanfall, at least for Xbox One lately. I can't speak for the 360 or the PC version. It is barren. Like, I think I went on and there was like 3,000 people playing at some point a few months ago. Like, that is like across all game modes.
Well,
that is insanely low.
It's low because, well, first of all, they messed up
levels.
making it exclusive. They should, if they went to like, you know, play PlayStation 4, which they're doing now, they're gonna make a lot more money, have a lot more people playing.
I mean, but that doesn't change the fact that.
Oh, right now it's low, and it's definitely low, as it should be. I mean, look, every now and then in this year, I will probably put it in just because my friends want to see how it is. You know, I did that, I think 2 or 3 months ago, and we had a good time playing again. But I even put up one for Kill of the Week. I don't know if everybody saw it, but it's funny. I killed this guy 3 times in my spree. That never happens within 30 seconds. So I'm a little proud of that. Good luck to Short Bus Driver, whatever his name was.
Nice. But yeah, I'm excited to originally I was excited because I didn't download the DLC because I just kind of stopped caring.
I did.
But and then I kind of realized that like it's cool, but it's like I said, unless this causes like a surge in the player base, it's still going to be hard to find games because there's so few people playing online. And even if they somehow magically make matchmaking really awesome and like effective, even though there's few people on there, you're just fighting the same people over and over again.
Well, two things. Two things. There's a lot more games that have came out since then, and then you're also getting free games with gold now that are and Phil Spencer's been stepping up his game right there. There's a lot of great games that they're starting to do right now, especially Rayman Legends for free. What a deal! What a deal! I mean, that when I heard about that, I was mad that I bought it last month.
Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah. So that's my. I'm really hoping. I'm probably gonna check it out this weekend and see if that causes a spike in users
traffic.
Because I mean, I mentioned that I wrote a piece like a month or two ago about this. Is that the Titanfall of right now is substantially better than the Titanfall of launch, because there's elements of customization now. There's
there's a horde mode now.
Yeah, there's so many new additions to it. There's like you can customize emblems. There's the vendor for black cards now. Was that burn cards?
Yeah, burn cards.
Oh, the black market is where you sell burn cards.
It's a little too late.
And it's just like there's all this cool stuff, and I'm hoping this causes a surge in it. But and this kind of goes on to the next point. Is as of today they officially announced. I mean, they kind of said this at E3 2013, is when they started announcing Titanfall, and Titanfall got all of its traction. Is they said, hey, the next Titanfall isn't going to be an exclusive, isn't going to be a console exclusive.
Smart.
So, and now today, I don't know, a year and a half later, they finally confirmed that Titanfall 2 will be on PS4 and PC. Well, it was already on PC, but it's going to be on PS4 as well.
The game has a lot of potential going forward. I will definitely say that. And if they had offline story mode, I would be very excited to play that. I'm definitely probably going to get the next Titanfall 2. That's probably definitely going to happen in my life. But yeah, I hope they add a story to it. And I think it's smart that they're going to cross-platform now, and I wish the best for them. They had a great. The servers were amazing. Nothing was broken when you first started the game. That's just crazy to think about nowadays. Anyway, a game working on the game day it comes out for online. That's just something that you don't. Sadly, you don't see much right now.
You know what excites me actually about this whole season pass thing is it's just that That's the way games used to be. I don't know if you remember when Halo 2 came out last generation. Whenever you had DLC, which was kind of new,
it was free.
Well, some of it was free, but if it was paid, eventually it would be free. Like Halo, I remember when they first came with the new maps, it was super cool, and they cost money for like about 5 or 6 months. But then eventually they made them free and they put them in normal map mates.
Yeah, it totally doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, and I just hope that this starts a trend again because like that would be an awesome trend. Like, hey, our game's not doing good. We might also just make the DLC free, to get more people playing it. Or some of the DLC free.
It's crazy that the first 3 or 4, I think the first 6 DLCs were free actually.
Oh yeah.
They were the first 5 or 6 were free. Like, come on, guys, play this game. I mean, we're giving you free DLC. They'd have different.
For what?
Titanfall.
Was it really?
Well, the first 5 or 6 were free.
But,
and then after the 6th free DLC, then you had to pay.
Okay.
And that kind of bugged me too because I bought DLC when it first came out. So why do these guys get to play when it's free?
Like, what type of DLC are you talking about?
I mean, I think it's talking about the like new modes.
It was the
modes.
The modes like Mark for Death.
Because the maps were absolutely like I remember having to pay for one and I was like, it's not worth it.
But that's the thing that makes me excited is I hope that this starts a trend. That like we're gonna go back to this point where it's like making because I hate the idea that I get certain games like when I play Call of Duty with my friends, right? I don't get the maps unless they're gonna get them because I want to play together, and it's like, okay, are you gonna get them? Oh, you're not gonna get them? Oh well, I don't want to play alone, so I guess I just won't play them either. There's no point of learning these new maps.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I have to say about that. And then
it's funny because for me, I know everyone else does, and like I'm not like an Xbox fan purist by any means. Like I don't really like I don't align myself with any console because I mean that's like a ridiculous idea to me. But
it's like going to a buffet and only ordering one thing.
I mean, it's more of like, I mean, I guess that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, like
it's just like it's like saying Ronald McDonald is a good guy. It's like I don't know. I like the food that he is a character for, but like I mean, that's my whole thing. Is just like I'm not gonna co-sign to anything. Like I like Nintendo games, but I also like PlayStation games, but I also like Xbox games. But I'm not necessarily. I don't really care per se about this news, and I kind of like not too thrilled about it. I'm not like upset, but it's kind of like so here's my whole thing is there should be a reason to own a PS. I mean, here's my whole idea on the whole multi-platform thing. There should be a reason to own a PlayStation, there should be a reason to own a Nintendo, and there should be a reason to own an Xbox. But between PlayStation and Xbox, those systems are becoming more and more similar to the point where it's just kind of pointless, and it's like
I think what's going to separate that is whoever has a better VR.
I don't think. I mean, like for one, Microsoft hasn't even talked about VR.
Yeah, they're talking about AR, but not VR.
And then, like, trust me, I don't think it's going to be a game changer.
I think they will eventually have a VR.
No, they probably will, but it's not going to because here's the idea: is that so during their during GDC, PlayStation announced that Project Morpheus. What did they announce about it? 2016. Is it coming out in 2016? No. They said that in 2016 they're going to have a new prototype. VR, everyone's super excited about VR. VR isn't going to be, like, I don't think VR is going to matter on this generation. I think it's going to be the next one. The idea that the PlayStation, which is destroying, like, the whole console race, is not having a VR set until potentially 2017. It's like Attack on Titan. We're not going to see it for a while.
So sad.
I'm very sad about that. The idea that there's going to be a new prototype in 2016, and like it looks cool, but it's like, and here's the kicker, is in modern era or whatever, it takes so long to make video games, and there's so much time and money that goes into it, and if you guys haven't, I don't know how much you guys have kept up on all the VR craze.
I have.
There are no games. Most of the things they show are tech demos.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
which means that. So here's the whole idea of VR on this like wave of consoles, is that not only do they not have the final product done, they're not going to have a beta project. I mean, a new prototype until next year, which means it probably won't hit the market until the year after. And when the dev kit comes out for that prototype, it's still just a prototype. So unless that's the final version, even if it's the final version, it's going to mean that devs are going to have to make games with this entirely new hardware that that they're not familiar with using at all. Like, they're going to have to do that, and it takes a long time with this unfamiliar thing that, like, I don't think VR is going to matter. What VR is perfect for, and I've said this before on this podcast, is that it's perfect for PC gaming, because ideally, if not ideally, but a lot of the times if someone's playing a PC, they're alone, like, because it's not like a local, like, you can, obviously there's games of local play in it, but for the most part, when you think of a PC, you're not going to have 2-3
computers in the same room and play, unless you're at a cafe or something.
And gaming PCs are all about gaming desktops and not laptops. Laptops can never be on par with PCs because there's space in a PC to throw in more RAM, to throw in a bigger graphics card, motherboard, and all this other stuff. So because of that, it has to be stationary. Mm-hmm. So based on that, it's perfect for VR. But you also consider the fact that, like, most likely what's going to happen is, and some of the dev kits for the Project Morpheus that came out mentioned that there might be a box, like a separate box that comes out, and that has to be plugged in. So if you're talking about the VR kit that has a screen on it, this potentially second box, a PlayStation Eye or PlayStation camera to track your movements, and then a controller, that is a lot to expect from somebody.
Yeah, but PlayStation right now is in the lead. So far, if you have the controller, you get the Eye right there, and then you get the Project Morpheus right now. PlayStation is probably offering, well, I don't know if offering is the right word, but it's probably set up right now the best way for virtual reality ahead of the other systems right now.
I mean, they also came out with a PlayStation Eye, which did terrible. The Kinect came out, which did terrible. Like, the new Kinect, like, I enjoy my Kinect, but for the most part, people don't like it, and it's an accessory that they try to distance themselves if they took it out of the box. Like the whole thing when this was being launched is they said this system cannot run without the Kinect, and they're like, it's gonna have to run without the Kinect because no one wants it. Yeah, so I don't necessarily see VR being a game changer, but but anyways, back to this.
Hold on. If once, I don't want to bring this up, but once porn gets into virtual reality, that's a huge game changer.
They kind of already have some porn.
Yeah, but and that's not gonna be on consoles. I guarantee it's not gonna be on consoles because.
What happened when? Well, look, when PS3 and Xbox had that, is it gonna be Blu-ray? Is it gonna be HD? Why did PS3 win? Why did Blu-ray win? Because of the porn industry.
Yeah, but that's indicative of a bigger thing because there's Blu-ray players that can run that. So that has nothing to do with the fact that that has nothing to do with PS3. So, like, PS3 having a Blu-ray in it just happened to live off the success of that. But it's not like they're like, all right, let's put a Blu-ray player in it because porn on Blu-ray is going to blast off. That's not why. Like, it's just a different disc entirely.
3D is a different disc entirely right now, right? And you're able to watch 3D movies through your console.
But how many people? How many PS4 games support 3D? Like 3, if even that, maybe 2.
I'm not talking about the games in general. I'm talking about the movies.
But what I'm trying to say is that these concepts, these like additional features, aren't the selling points for these. Like with the whole like console gaming, that would definitely that will probably be a thing. Like how Bunny was mentioning that it already happens. That's all PC. That isn't going to touch the console.
Well, it doesn't have to be virtual porn. It can just be a virtual movie you're watching. A new experience. I mean, that's going to happen.
Even then, that doesn't change. Like, that's not going to be a big thing to people. Because look, I mean, most people watch movies not by themselves. It is socially, for some reason, in Western culture, it is socially unacceptable to go see a movie by yourself. Think of the last 10 movies you've watched, and I guarantee 8 to 9 of them you've watched with other people. So if you're thinking of 4 people there watching a movie with VR headsets on, that's not going to happen.
Well, it is possible that there could be a few virtual headsets in your house. It is possible.
I guarantee you this thing, the Morpheus in itself, is probably going to be
250,
probably a 300 or 400, especially if it does have this additional box that's rumored, it's gonna be 350.
Yeah, I think VR is an awesome. I mean, I want to say it's a phase, but I feel like it's a lot like. Well, I mean, I guess slightly. I kind of want to say it is a fad or phase, like motion control somewhat.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's cool, but I feel like it's a separate thing than gaming. Like I don't see. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to try it out. I'm like, oh, this is cool, but like really,
it's novel.
Yeah, I mean, what it comes down to is that like games are already as tense as it is, and as cool as it is, it must be. Oh, it's awesome. A lot of these VR games require you to move and turn your head and stuff like that, and some of them require you to stand up. It's almost the same thing with motion gaming, where it's like you get tired. I remember I was playing with a friend. I was playing a game. What's that game called?
Gunstringer.
Gunstringer. Super awesome. It's probably one of the best Kinect games. Oh my god! After like 10 minutes, your arms are burning because you're keeping your arms up. And it's like you're shooting, and you're kind of like, wow, this is kind of a workout. Dance Central, which is probably the most successful Kinect game, probably period. Yeah. And as cool as it is,
I think it's Just Dance, or I don't know. It's one of
it's up there. Though.
I think those games are the exact same.
Right
thing,
now, the Project Morpheus looks like you're going to be majority of the time you're going to use your controller. You know, it's not like I don't think you're gonna be moving your arms and stuff.
Possibly.
I think you have the controller connected, and
but
then
even if you have your controller connected, that's still blocking off your vision. And like another huge thing to take in consideration is a lot of these. I don't know if the Morpheus does, but a lot of these VR sets, because there's been a lot, don't allow for glasses to fit in them. A lot of people need glasses, which is a crazy thought.
I think they'll have that adjustment.
A lot of them
have that adjustment.
A lot of the VR sets that are almost finalized, like the Samsung one, it's coming out this year, which is a crazy thought. Yeah. Like a lot of them don't have this thing, and like you got to think about this, Aaron. Is that at GDC last year, Shuhei Yoshida, which is like the head of the Sony Studios, said, "Here's Project Morpheus." Like when he revealed this, he said, "Here's Project Morpheus. This is just something we're working on. It very well might never come to consumers." Like, that's crazy. It's to think that this might never come out. I mean, now we know that it is, but that shows their insight to the fact that this isn't something that's incredibly desired by players necessarily. That's why Oculus is a PC thing and not and Oculus was the one that started all of this. Yeah. That's why Oculus is a PC thing and not a console thing.
Yeah, it's remains to be seen. I mean, we're gonna see what the trend is when it comes out. I'm excited for it. There's some games I think I'll just be terrified to play in virtual reality, man. That's being into the deep in the ocean with sharks. That'll scare the heck out of me. I wouldn't want to do that.
See, like,
you know, I mean, they're gonna have to see about the fear. The fear is gonna be a factor into some of these games. You know, if it's all right around you and right in your face, that's crazy, man. It's just kind of scary to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. I think there's just too many factors into VR to make it a thing. But anyway, back to the original thing. Sorry for the tangent, folks. The idea of making it multi-platform is cool. And I'm also concerned about PlayStation as far as the reason why that was one of the selling points of Titanfall was that the servers were doing so great, but that was specifically using I don't know how to say that word, Azure, Azure. It's like a color.
Yeah.
That was their cloud. That was their cloud service, and that is what was making it so awesome. And they're like these are gonna have dedicated servers, yada yada yada. And PlayStation doesn't have that, and I don't know. I think it's cool, but I think it's splitting up a kind of a niche like fan base, because I mean, first-person shooters aren't really niche, but the idea of non-Halo, non-Call of Duties are niche. Like, I didn't like the fact that it was on 360. Just shove everything into one console and have something exclusive for once. I don't know. That's my thing on it.
If you had everything into just one console, I think that console will be pretty expensive.
Not everything into one console, but the idea that everything has to be multi-console. Bloodborne is going to do well. It's going to do well in Japan. It's going to do well here because the Dark Souls games are getting more and more popular. They're not putting it on PS3. They're not putting it on Xbox One. They're just doing PS4. Mm-hmm. And like what I've seen, I don't know, this might personally just be me, is that when a game is multi-platform. You have to appeal to different hardware, and it never looks as good. Like that's why
the Wii U doesn't get these.
That's why The Last of Us looks better than Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, in my opinion. I mean, like there's skepticism, but the thing is, it's crazy because if you look at The Last of Us, it came out when Tomb Raider came out, and then they made the Last of Us remastered, and then they had the definitive for the following the definitive Tomb Raider, and to me, both Last of Us looked better than their Tomb Raider counterparts. But anyways, we'll move on to the next thing.
Yeah, that's comparing apples to oranges, really, to me. I mean, they both look fantastic.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about just general visual fidelity. I don't think it's apple to oranges at all. I think they're incredibly similar. We were just comparing them a second ago, but
well, when I say apple to oranges, like I'm saying, like, you know, which one looks better. You know, I think they look beautiful.
Yeah. Another thing that happened, a delay that I kind of saw coming, was Uncharted. Uncharted got delayed to 2016.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm fine with it. You take your time, Naughty Dog. You know, I'm going to pick it up. And I have a lot of other games to play this year anyway. So, hey, like I said, I brought this up last year. I'm fine with some games being delayed because it's not like I'm only going to have one game and I'm just waiting for that one game to play. No, I got other games to play, you know. Hey, take your time. Make a masterpiece out of it.
I hope it's... all right, if anybody knows me, I'm a frame rate freak, and I just love... Things need to be... For me, like, you can never not justify 60 frames per second. I feel like almost everything should be 60 frames per second, you know, because... Yeah. Like, you know, sometimes you have to sacrifice textures to make it run more smoothly, but I feel like shooters need to be 60 frames per second. And originally they said they were targeting, you know, 60 frames per second was what they're targeting, but I think they locked that demo. It was either at 30 frames or 45 frames per second. And I just hope that with this delay they could lock it at 60 frames per second, because it does change the gameplay. Like, it really, like, not all games... You know, like you got your indie games. You know, some games don't require good graphics and smooth stuff, but shooters, you bet your ass they do. Like shooters, they need to be super smooth. You know, and like even though the other ones weren't 30, were 30. You know, but it would just be really awesome and nice to see. I mean, I understand that, you know, it has a different a different feel too. The Last of Us and Uncharted have a different feel, which is cool. It's like Uncharted has a lot more big open environments, just a lot more huge open spaces.
Yeah, I saw the demo,
and it's a lot more strict. Last of Us is a lot more strict, so I could see why it's easier to get a game like Last of Us at 60 frames per second. And there's a lot of interiors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean, but there's definitely a lot of like open areas in Last of Us.
But you can't go like you can't. I mean, I think going to Brandon's point, Last of Us, you can go from point A to point B, and that's the direction you have to go. Like in an Uncharted or like an open world game, like you can go left or right. You know, you can just explore the world. You know, Last of Us, even though when you're up top on the buildings and you can see far away, you know that was cool and great to see, but you were not able to explore it. You're just really it's kind of narrow in a way, but it was narrow in a good way.
Yeah,
I loved it.
And so I hope for things like that. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a great game. I'm sure it's going to be great. And it does suck. You know, I hate seeing delays. I mean, some people like seeing delays, but I hate seeing delays. I mean, it'd be great to see a game that is I love when a game is awesome and it never got delayed. They said, hey, we're coming out this day, and that's when it's going to come out. And then it comes out and it's awesome. It's like crazy. Like, whoa. Everything
and the server's supposed to work and all that.
Yeah, it's awesome when that actually happens. When
I think it's an uncommon opinion, but I think it's the truth is that I think someone is being disingenuous with themselves when they say I'm fine that this got delayed, or it's good that this got delayed. Like if
it's a personal opinion.
Well, not really. What I'm trying to say is that if a game can be just as good as it was when it's delayed, I wouldn't want it delayed.
Yeah.
So if I have some verification that they're delaying it for a good reason, like to add something in, then I'm okay with. I mean, like, let's be clear. I don't care about. I'll play Uncharted for like 30 minutes and fall asleep. But like, when people are like, "Oh yeah, you know," like I'm fine with this delay. I'm glad that like I don't think. I think the idea of I'm glad that because that means they'll add polish to it. Yeah, that I can totally 100% get behind. But the idea of I'm cool with getting like a game they like I don't want Metal Gear to get delayed. If they push it to like the next year and they say they add this and this, and then I'm cool. But like a minor pet peeve of mine is when like a dev will delay a game and not give any reason why. But I mean, I knew that Uncharted wouldn't make it. I think the go ahead.
I know. Yeah, go ahead.
The more interesting thing about this delay is that with this, PlayStation 4 isn't so far. We still have E3 and Gamescom. They don't have any big AAA games this fall anymore. They have Persona 5, which apparently is still coming out. That's going to come out this year. But as far as for fall goes, they don't have that many. Like, I can't think of any big exclusives. I mean, there's big games coming out this fall. They'll have Call of Duty. They'll probably have whatever big other big AAA games are coming out. But as far as exclusives go, like exclusive AAA games, there's none as of right now. And that's kind of a crazy thought. Is that was, I don't know if you guys remember, that's the exact same thing that happened last fall in 2014. There was the only big fall game, the only big fall exclusive for PlayStation, if you want to call it that, was Drive Club. Like, that's pretty much it as far as exclusives go. Which, I mean, it's kind of baffling for me
had
because
Second Son last year. That was
I'm talking fall.
Oh, okay.
Cause fall is holiday. That's where the majority of video game sales happen.
Yeah.
Because there's several holidays in that time, and the fact that there was like very few exclusives, but PlayStation. I mean, I still don't get this. Is that, like, I'm saying this as a PlayStation 4 owner, is that there's so many PlayStations in the wild with so few exclusives, like exclusive AAAs, especially in fall. Like that's what catches me off guard. So I'm less concerned about Uncharted getting delayed for the sake of I'm more concerned is that now there's no AAA exclusive in the fall for PlayStation. Yeah. I mean, like I said, well, E3 is right around the corner.
It can be PlanetSide 2.
I mean, that's not
right now. They're in beta, and they may be in beta for a while. But once they're out of beta, that can be definitely in the fall.
But PlanetSide 2 is free to play, correct?
Only on PS4.
But it's free to play, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's not gonna like.
But let's not get this wrong. I've played this game right now, and I forgot to tell you, after I played this game, it is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's not what I'm saying. Is the idea?
And I would pay for it if I could.
But the idea is that free to play games, no matter how good they are, aren't gonna sell on consoles. Like they scarcely do. Free to play games on mobile, absolutely, because it's the people who spend $400 on a PS4 want a big AAA budget game that they'll pay for. Mm-hmm. And the people who have a phone and want something to do to kill time will get Candy Crush or Angry Birds for free. Mm-hmm. You know, so the free to play, unfortunately, has a huge stigma on it.
Right, my buddy Tim. The main reason why he bought a PS4 was for PlanetSide 2.
Now, do you think Tim is common that concept?
Well, for anybody who saw PlanetSide 2 when it was announced that it was going to be on PS4, that was one of my main reasons for getting a PlayStation.
Interesting. I mean, I would venture to say that most people wouldn't. I think most people probably bought PlayStation 4 for games like Uncharted.
Yeah, probably for the.
Well, I knew the Uncharted 2 Naughty Dogs, but when I knew PlanetSide was going to be on PS4, that was just an added bonus, and it made me really want to get a PS4.
Yeah. I think the ironic thing is that almost everything this generation is a flip flop of last generation, except for the fact that Xbox One is a little less powerful. If you were to think about it, okay, PlayStation 3 was way behind for a long time, but what did everyone love it? They claimed that there was more exclusives on PS3. There was. There was a lot of exclusives, you know.
Yeah, there was.
And then Xbox only had Gears. You had a few games, Gears, Halo, and I forgot what else.
The main was Gears and Halo.
Yeah, but this time around, Xbox One actually kind of this is not including indie games. But as far as AAA, there's way more big or just in general, just exclusive games, not including indies. There's way more on Xbox.
Hey.
And
I'm loving my Xbox. It's probably my favorite console right now inside my living room.
And it's behind. I mean, I haven't checked recently, but the last time I checked, I think it literally had double the sales. I think it was something like 21 or 22 million PS4s out there and like 12 million Xboxes.
Yeah, I think that number hasn't changed much. I think that was pretty recent. And I mean it's like Xbox One. I mean, and they're both doing infinitely better than they did the previous.
Yeah, than their predecessors.
Like, it's not like, and it's funny because even though there's that huge disparity between the two numbers, they're still doing like
they're
incredible.
Winning.
Like they're both doing amazing. And I mean, I know there's like competitive flares in both of the businesses, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting because like technically, Quantum Break. Why do I have trouble with that? I always think it's Quantum Break, which is made by I think it's Remedy, the dudes who made
Max Payne, right?
Max Payne, and like
so
they showed like footage of that I think a few months ago, and it looks so good.
Yeah,
that's still technically coming out this fall.
I heard it didn't get delayed.
I don't think it got officially delayed. There's a lot of rumors. They'll probably say something in like the next month before E3. They'll probably be like, oh well, you know, we're happy to announce that it's coming out next year, and do like a graceful delay. But on top of that, Halo, which people care about, what was there was some other big Xbox One game. But anyways, yeah, I just think it's more interesting is that it, as far as fall goes, that being clear of it really decreases. Tomb Raider, there we go. Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, and that's another really interesting thing is that like when Phil Spencer like finally commented on the whole exclusivity of the Rise of the Tomb Raider, is like his which is once again is a testament to how cool this guy sounds. I think one of his comments was like his, just as how genuine he is. I think one of his comments was like, "Oh, well, we bought this IP, or we bought the rights to this IP temporarily for the timed exclusive junk." And he was like, "Because we don't have a house, like we don't have like a really powerful adventure game in our house like Uncharted."
Yeah, which
is interesting. So it's kind of like, I mean, like from a competitive business standpoint, that's a genius concept. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Is to split the market on something. Like I'd rather get 50% of something that I was getting 0% of prior. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's kind of interesting that with that being delayed. And like I said, E3 is right around the corner. They're probably going to announce some stuff. But like I said, as of right now, with Uncharted not being there, there's no big PS4 exclusives.
Yeah, and right now
in fall.
Yeah. And the future of Xbox right now is that they're heading towards being hand in hand with Microsoft on PC. You know, you're going to be able to play games with somebody. Speaking of Fable Legends, you're going to be able to play Fable Legends on Xbox One while somebody's playing with you on PC. And then right now that they're trending that way, and especially with DirectX, I think it's DirectX 12 that they have inside their system. I mean, a lot of devs are really excited about that as well. So right now, they're definitely going to be teaming up and just doing well with the PC market of it.
Yeah. Next piece of news. I'm just minor. I don't know. Aaron, you might care about this. Bunyan, you might too. So Splatoon, the Wii U game, that looks pretty cool to me. But I guess there was like some leaked screens of it being posted on the eShop that indicate that there's going to be like amiibo functionality with it, which implies that there might be a Splatoon amiibo. And the main reason why I put these in the podcast notes is just that people are going crazy over amiibo. Like,
no, they're selling out left and right.
I don't understand it. Like, I think there was there was like a Golden Mario one that hasn't been out yet, but they're taking the pre-orders, and it sold out within like 90 seconds, which is insane. Like,
they're starting to become collector's items for that.
which to me I don't get. Yeah, like this is coming from someone whose like first system was a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo. Like I get the appreciation and the love for these characters.
Yeah,
but like I mean my whole issue is the functionality behind it is non-existent. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, that's my thing. I just feel like it's forced, and I don't get what I feel like people think they're gonna be worth more. I mean, there have been a few that have been worth a lot.
Lucario was listed for $99. It's $12. It was listed for $99 because it was Toys R Us exclusive, and there's only like 2 Toys R Us left in the world. Yeah. So yeah, it was listed for $99, and like it actually sold.
I didn't see amiibos having this much success. I really didn't. And more power to Nintendo. That's a win for them.
Yeah. And then there was a defective Samus. I don't know if you guys saw it. It had 2 guns. And they sold it like that, and then that I think went to like $4,000 or some crazy amount. But I feel like just people are like, these are gonna be worth a lot someday. We should get them, and that's kind of almost like if you think about look at the as much I loved it, and I still have it. It's in our video. The Halo 3 Master Chief Collection. You know, they're like, oh, this is what's it called, or no, it wasn't a Master Chief Collection. I'm sorry, the Legendary edition of Halo 3.
Oh yeah,
they come with the helmet, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
It was 125, and back then that was so much. Like, everyone's like, oh my god! And then, like 8 months later, I seen the whole thing for like $40, which is kind of funny. And
Master Chief will never be as popular as Mario. It just never will. Mario is so iconic that it's just, you know, people just want to get their hands on it. I feel like these amiibos were kind of like when Pokemon cards came out. You know, like you got to get this new Pokemon card. You got to get that. You know, you can have a collector's edition of this. That's what it kind of looks like to me right now.
And it's funny because I don't want to go on like an anti-Nintendo rant, but this is so indicative of like what Nintendo always does, where they introduce some new hardware and they don't explain what's the point. Like the DS, like I love my 3DS and I loved my DS, but there still has been so little usage, like real hardcore usage and necessity for a second screen. Because like in most games, it's just a map, which is convenient in certain games, which is really, and like I think in excuse me, in Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, like you can go through your inventory on the bottom map, which is a lot more useful in those games. Yeah. But for the most part, like a lot of times, the bottom screen just kind of doesn't do anything. Same thing with the Wii U gamepad. I'll say this is that to me, by far the most useful reason for the Wii U gamepad is off TV play.
Yeah,
like that's awesome, but that's not that they never marketed it as that. They are never like, you know, it's so they're like never like, you guys know what's gonna be so awesome about this is that you're gonna be able to play on your whatchamacallit. They're gonna be, they said stuff like, oh, it's gonna work with, it's gonna have all these unique features for games.
I think they marketed a little bit of it, like at first, you know, I think that was some of the selling points. I mean, I don't know how useful I find it as much, because, you know, there aren't even that many games. There's not even that many single player games on Wii U that I'm like, oh, I have to play this on Wii U. You know,
like remember in the tech demo they revealed it. They had the guy like holding it, and it was like a stack of ninja stars, and he's using it like to throw them. Yeah, and like that's cool, but like.
Why?
But why? And also, I don't like who would want to play a game like that. But and
it's
it's
funny,
and they do it all the time. And with like Amiibo, it's so far. I mean, like I said, some people are really into this. I mean, I'm clearly not one of them. But like the functionality it has in Smash Brothers is you can train this AI and it can make it fight other AIs, and it plays like you, but it doesn't really. And then like in Kirby.
The Curse of Dreamland. I forgot what it's called.
The Kirby names are getting more ridiculous as the time.
The Curse of Dreamland, the Kirby's Dreamland Curse. I don't know.
I think it's Kirby and the Rainbow Curse or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a.
I wanted to play it. I had an idea for Brittany and for Stephanie to play it.
That'd be good. The problem, I mean, and this is another thing with that specifically. This is another thing that just complicates like the Wii U thing, is that. Like I've seen it played, I haven't got it, but it's like a pretty game because it's like clay, but you can't look at it on the screen because the way the game works, I don't know if you guys have actually seen how it plays, is you're drawing lines, and wherever the lines are, they act as ramps for Kirby. So it's like
when you're using a gamepad,
yeah,
that's how it was for Super Mario Brothers U. Yeah,
Super Mario Brothers U.
Super Mario Brothers.
But think of it like this.
No, that's how it was. You put a ledge. So when I was playing, my friend would put a ledge, and I jump on that ledge with the controller.
I get that, but here's the thing. That is the only way you can play is by drawing lines. So you have to, in order to draw lines accurately, you can't look up at the screen. You have to look at the gamepad. Do you get what I'm saying?
You can't play on the gamepad and then put a ledge there. Or I'm sorry,
no. You have no control over Kirby. Kirby just moves and you draw ramps. It's not a platform.
You're using physics. Pretty much, you're using the physics engine and you're drawing a line.
You have no functionality over Kirby at all.
I think you can press him and he boosts. That's it.
Yeah.
But he's rolling.
You don't press left and right or anything.
Yeah, he's rolling at all points.
Just imagine it's like a bowling ball and you're drawing a line
precisely.
on your screen to make the ball, and using the physics to make the bowling ball go where you want.
Yeah, they had a DS. They had a DS one. I think it's called Kirby Rainbow something. I don't know. They loved that, but it was the same. It was the same idea where you're just drawing lines. And
not a fan.
And like, so the problem with that is that this game looks beautiful on like a 1080p screen, but you have to be looking at this at the gamepad at all times, which doesn't look as pretty. But I mean, and I want to get excited for the potential implications for Splatoon, because Splatoon sounds like a very interesting, unique game that is scarcely done.
It does.
But like,
it's new, definitely new.
For Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, whenever you add a specific amiibo on, it gives you like a random power up, which is like, it's cool. Like, I think if you have a Wii U or if you have a 3DS, you should have an amiibo. But it's not like necessary at all, and it's not going to change the game substantially. Like,
you think you got more use with the Skylander?
Well, that's the thing about Skylanders is a lot of people talk ill, and I don't like Skylanders. I've never even played Skylanders, but a lot of people speak ill of Skylanders and Disney Infinity, and people throw that comparison. Well, they do it. The thing is about Skylander. Specifically, I'm not totally sure about Disney Infinity.
Is awesome.
Is you slide your character, or you put the character on, or you identify the character, however you do it, and it like unlocks stuff in the game. Like
like those characters. Example, the idea is that they're trapped on like a little a statue that toy you buy is a statue, and you unlock them, and the statue comes alive in the game. So lots of those characters. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. It's the characters. Most of those characters you cannot play. So imagine. And John, this would suck for Smash Bros.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was going to say.
I mean, on the flip side, this would suck for Smash Bros. Oh, cool, we have like 41 characters, but you have to buy each one.
Oh, man.
And that's how Disney Infinity is. So it sucks and it's cool at the same time. On one end, it's cool because it's like basically like example, the Pirates of the Caribbean world. You have to buy the Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't even know
how much for those figurines.
I
think they're like 20 about.
Wow.
But here's the thing that's lame though is like, say if we want to play co-op, right? Like say, and I think the cool thing is they almost all have co-op, right? To play co-op, we need to buy a second one, which is super lame. So any of those, like, I mean, Disney Infinity looks. I really want to give it a try. It looks really awesome. But it's expensive. It's like literally like, yeah, you have to. Oh, cool! I got Captain Jack Sparrow. Oh, but I need the other Captain Jack Sparrow so we can play co-op.
I'm looking at Skylanders toys on Amazon right now, and they're all like 15 or like 2-packs for 30. So they're more than amiibo, but I mean, like, they serve more.
They have a use. I mean, I guess it's kind of like blackmail. I just hope eventually there comes a game where it's like. Some game that really utilizes all the amiibos and makes you want to go get amiibos. Like, oh yeah, like I mean, yeah, it's just some game that really makes you want to get amiibos. Like yeah, I could play this without amiibo, but this would be a lot funner if I had amiibos. Like, I don't know, some like just.
I think I'll buy one to give it a try, see what happens.
Yeah, like I said, I think if you consistently play Nintendo games, everyone should own at least one amiibo, because I mean, like the idea is that I think like the Marth amiibo. Or some Fire Emblem character in Project's codenamed Steam that comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, I think tomorrow. Yeah,
it unlocks Marth in it. Like, I don't know how specifically that works. I don't know if it's just like a temporary power up. So it's cool. It's like physical reoccurring DLC. So I think everyone should have one. But the fact that I have seen so many people saying like, "Oh, I've complete my set with like 12 amiibo and like unboxed and then like 12 boxed ones,"
collectors,
is jarring to me.
They're
but
just
like,
collecting them. I
mean, I just don't see it. But anyways, our last piece of news for the night, because this podcast is running over, is this one actually caught me a little bit off guard. There was a lot of rumors about this, but I didn't think it was actually going to happen. Excuse me. There's going to be a new Rock Band game coming out. What was that? Was that supposed to be like a guitar strum? I still don't know what's going on.
Rock Band. It's a death metal rock band.
Elvin would be pissed off at it right now.
Metal band.
But anyways, before Bunyan serenaded us, yeah, I really caught off guard by that, just because I wasn't expecting that. Like, you know, there's all these rumors. There's so many Kickstarters of games trying to come back. All this stuff that I wasn't expecting them to come out, and let alone come out and say, "Hey, this is coming out this year." So,
yeah, it's gonna sell. It's definitely gonna sell. I never was really into Rock Band, to tell you the truth. I like DJ Hero. That was fun, but I even had the little DJ set.
I think we gave ours away, I think.
We never had a Rock Band. The DJ Hero.
Yeah.
It was fun. We gave it to like DJ Hero was okay. DJ Hero was cool. It was cool hearing the mixes of the songs.
Oh yeah, it was.
Because they would mix like two random songs
and
it would
good.
sound awesome.
They were good.
But like practically it wasn't really fun to play for me.
Yeah.
But
I feel you.
Yeah, I remember we tried to trade it into GameStop and they're like, we don't want it. So we were like, all right, we just threw it away.
We didn't throw it away, right?
I tried to, and you were like, no, I want to hold on to it.
And then
that's your voice.
What was the rapping one? I forgot. I liked it. I liked it a lot. You had to rap the lyrics against your friend, whoever said
that was some Def Jam.
Get on the Def Jam. Is there something like
Def Jam Superstar?
Oh yeah,
or something like that. I never actually tried. I always wanted to.
I had a good time with that.
What do you call it?
Real good time.
You would get that.
When
game.
Busta Rhymes "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See," when that song came on. It was so tough to battle your friend because that's a hard song to sing.
I'll say the one last thing. I mean, I'm excited about this Rock Band because first of all of your old songs work.
Yeah,
except for Rock Band 3, I think, or the keyboard songs or something like that.
Probably the keyboard song. I don't think
the keyboard's gone.
Okay, did they actually say that?
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
said
know that. Okay, yeah, that would make sense because there were very few Casio songs and like they were like kind of like
yeah,
but. Go ahead.
And all your old songs. But I think my biggest thing is, why did they ever stop adding songs to? I mean, I could stop making the games because I'm pretty sure everyone got tired. Well, I'm not gonna buy Rock Band 5 because I already have all these songs.
Yeah.
It's just my biggest things. I just don't know why they stopped putting songs on. Like they never should have stopped adding songs. I think people would still would have bought them.
Yeah, I think so too. The interesting thing about it is for me. Is the idea that the songs carry over. That's awesome to me because like one of the problems I had with this game that most people didn't like. I had a lot of casual friends who are casual gamers who bought a lot of the songs to play, and the prices were kind of outrageous. Like
$5 or something.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think it was like if it was $5, that's insane. But I think I remember them being like $3.
Oh, $3.
And $3 is still insane to me because it's like technically you can buy a song on iTunes for $3 and listen to it whenever without but you know what I mean?
Yeah, you own it.
You're not owning this song, and even if you say, well, I own the game and I own that, it's like, okay, imagine you like Bohemian Rhapsody, but the only time you can listen to it is when you're strumming along with Freddie Mercury. Like that idea.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
And you spend $100 something. You spend $100 something to buy the game already,
and then all of the parts, but I think the thing that's so awesome about this, and we talked about this on the podcast a couple times, is that as awesome as this new generation is, PlayStation 4 has a lot of indies that have local play in it. Yeah. But the idea of local play is gone from video games now. Like the idea of playing video games with friends in your house is kind of Nintendo still holds true to that. But
iDarb is fantastic with your friends on local play. I recommend that game.
As awesome as that is, that's still an 8-player game that one of the ways they pushed it was play online against people or join up with a team online and play. So to have I just like the idea of a game that's centered around local play. Yeah, local. So that's interesting.
Now, if you buy the Rock Band, my question was. You probably can't use your old hardware
they haven't said it, but I doubt it. I mean,
I remember my friend Kim. My friend Kim had the drums. He had the mic that came with it, and then he also had the guitar. And so we had a Rock Band going on. And it was that's what the game is all about, and it was a fun time. It'd be great if you could still use that hardware, or else it's probably just laying around your house gathering dust.
Yeah, I mean, what I think will probably happen. Is I think they'll probably do pull a Nintendo and offer an adapter maybe
yeah, that'd be
because
great.
The whole problem is off the bat they're not going to work, you know what I mean, because they're 360 and PS3 controller ports and stuff like that. So I don't think they're just going to instantly work. Maybe they'll have an adapter, that'd be nice. But I mean I don't know, and I don't know if they're gonna add a new instrument. If they're gonna add a new instrument, I think that's gonna complicate it. But yeah,
I don't even know what's left that they could possibly
Ocarina.
Add. I guess so.
That'd be awesome.
I'm trying to think.
That'd be actually be really good. Or the maracas.
I mean, that would be cool if you could still use the DJ thing, but I don't know how many songs. I mean, unless they
that would
Linkin Park songs only.
But even then, it's the whole idea of the DJ hero, and now
they're putting that at Oregon.
A harp
and organ.
Oh, bagpipes.
Yeah,
bagpipes.
And an accordion. We can keep doing this. A recliner, incliner. Whoa! What was it called? What was the flute thing called we played in 5th grade?
Recorder.
The recorder.
I don't know. Recliner, incliner.
I knew 2 songs and I got them wrong each time.
I never had one.
I never brought mine. I always get in trouble.
Mary Had a Little Lamb. I got that on repeat, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Do, 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 do. Blah, blah, blah.
And you know my favorite part about playing those? You remember this when we were in elementary school? They played like background songs that you're supposed to play, and your recorder sounds super stupid.
Awful and stupid.
But the background songs sound tight. Like, damn, that song, maybe we should just shut the hell up and just let the song play, because it was some like super cool just beat, like some super cool beat.
And, where the recorder has no place on that song whatsoever.
Exactly. Seriously.
But come on, guys, it's a respectable and it's classy. Let's go ahead and get our recorders.
Yeah, seriously. It's like Tupac playing Hail Mary. We're like, oh, cool, let's get recorders to play along.
Yeah, just like, recorders are not even used anymore, I don't think, dude.
I don't know. I haven't been to 5th grade in a while.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Remember just around the river bend? They made us sing that song while we graduated.
Oh yeah, I didn't have to learn it because I didn't go to graduation. Remember, I graduated, I just didn't go.
Just around the river bend.
That's pretty awesome.
For me, waiting for me.
Yeah, we said. I think the song too. We sorry guys.
I'll sit back and let you guys go.
This final tangent. So the song we were supposed to sing as a graduation class of 5th grade was, we said, hey, we should sing "Color of the Wind," and it was our class's idea. And then they were like, no, you sing "Just Around the River Bend," which is like the
Just Around the River Bend won because of Pocahontas.
Yeah,
Pocahontas was so popular at that time.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. That's our elementary tangent.
I hate you guys so much. But yeah, anyways, back to guitar. I mean, DJ,
rock band.
I'm done, man.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think that is an underrated feature. Is the idea that like DLC will carry over.
Yeah. Oh no,
because
so
like
great.
I mean, like I have a friend. I have a friend named Eggy, who probably bought like, I would say upwards of 40. I mean, I can't be certain. Maybe I'm wrong, but he probably bought a good 40 songs on Rock Band, and I don't know how much they were.
So much money.
If they were $2 each, that's $80. If they were $3 each, that's math. You know, and if they were $5 each, that's even more math. So I mean, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's gonna do it for us here at Gamer Gameless, guys. Thanks for listening. Remember, you can catch us at facebook.com/gamergameless, gamergameless.com, or our Twitter. I'm gonna try to not say shiny new Twitter anymore, but our Twitter, which is @gamergameless. Thanks for watching with your ears, which is listening.
And hearing with your mouth.
Yep, theater of the mind. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time.